guys, in this video I'll be giving you guys a quick review of the Ryobi brushless 40 volt lithium cordless jet fan blower whisper series, making 550 CFM and 125 miles per hour. That's a mouthful. I didn't really have a part number, so that's what we're going to call it. We're just going to call it the leaf blower. And there she is in all of her sweetness. Some pretty cool features here. Does offer an adjustable handle. Just tighten that down once you get it into a comfy spot and you're good to go. One other neat thing is it's got an adjustable trigger, or at least a variable speed trigger. So just a little bit more, and then turbo feature. That comes in pretty handy, especially if you're blowing out your garage or something like that, where you don't want the full force, the full onslaught. You can tone it down a little bit and makes it a little bit easier to manage, you know, the dust and the dust bunnies and the leaves and all the rest of the unmentionable things that wind up in your garage. The battery pack on this does have an indicator, and with just me playing around with it, it's got 3 bars left. When this gets down to 1 bar, it takes the unit about an hour and a half to get back to fully charged. So once it's fully charged, how long will it last? Because that's got to be the next question, right? Well, it will manage to blow all the leaves off of this driveway, this porch, this patio, including blowing a ton of leaves out of those rocks back there, which seem to take forever, and that driveway again, as well as blowing a ton of water off my wife's Jeep. I used her Jeep to use as a bit of a comparison between that Ryobi cordless and a Toro corded unit. Unfortunately, my comments couldn't be heard because the Toro unit is so much louder than the Ryobi. But the Ryobi did a good job, didn't it, buddy? Yeah, it did. The Ryobi did a good job getting the water off the Jeep, which, in realistic terms, you know, if you're using one of these things to dry off your car, or like as a pre-dry scenario, this thing is great because you don't have to go digging for this mess right here. Even though that old Toro may have a higher wind speed of roughly 240 miles an hour versus 125, it's just not pushing the same amount of air. Not to mention, with it only being a 2-speed, it limits its effectiveness in blowing out areas like your garage, small areas like sheds, things like that, where it would just make a complete mess, even on low speed mode. So there's a quick rundown of that Ryobi Whisper series leaf blower. This is basically the most butch version of the cordless, non-backpack style blowers that I could find. It seems to do a really good job of just being a leaf blower. I never outran the leaves that I was blowing with it, if you know what I mean, when you're walking with one of these things and just kind of blowing the leaves or dirt, debris, whatever out of the way. And that was just on the low setting. It does great for what it is. It's not ever going to be as powerful as a corded unit, which I don't think anybody would have that expectation, but it does great on its own. And I got to tell you, I'm surprised with how much I like it. And I'll tell you this, I love not having to mess with any extension cords anymore, which I absolutely hate. Does a great job of drying a vehicle if that's what you want to use one of these things for. Total work time is somewhere around 30 minutes with a quick charge of around an hour and a half. I definitely suggest buying an extra battery for this unit, but I would suggest doing that with any cordless unit to begin with. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. Sorry I couldn't get you a little bit better footage, but it's kind of hard to talk over one of these things. But it's a leaf blower. It does leaf blower stuff. And it's a good one, so if you're wanting a nice, powerful cordless to put in your arsenal in the garage, pick you up one of these. You'll be happy with it. And that's a wrap. Adios.